Okay, week 26. I had to downgrade a little because I was burning. It's quite hot in this apartment right now. I don't know why. It was it was raining a lot today, but that will be explained in week 28. Yeah, week 28. Uh, so the first official P day in Pine Bluff, we did a lot of shopping because there wasn't much in the apartment, but we were also supposed to get haircuts. We're like, oh yeah, we need haircuts. Yeah, apparently no one's open on Monday except for Walmart and this other guy that was busy that day. So we're like, crap, now we have to get haircuts next week. That was fun, but after emails, we went out and helped a kid out with his math. We helped him do his fractions, dividing, multiplying fractions. The way his teacher taught it was like, I don't understand that. It was like weird chunks or something like that. And I was like, oh, you could just exit or something like that. Yeah, cross multiply, divide. How he said it. I don't think he actually caught that in the video. I'll have to check that later. But we then had dinner at the Bird Songs, and we talked about a couple things, and we got extra food to take home, and then we got a call like, hey, this member's daughter needs a blessing. We called them and they're like, yeah, just come on over, we're almost home. So we drop by the house, say, hey, here's this extra food for y'all from the Bird Songs. And they're like, oh, sweet, thank you. And then we give the daughter a blessing, and yeah, so yay service. And then Tuesday, February 5th, my birthday. That was a long day, but one second. Alright, sorry about that. We were discussing a couple things, but my buddy, my good old buddy pal, best friend Preston got his mission call on my birthday, so that was pretty cool. He opened it on the 6th. I'll tell you what he got called to actually later on, but Elder Horman made me brownies and breakfast burritos, and so it was called the Breakfast of Champions. Our mission president thinks it's otherwise. Waffles and ice cream thinks with strawberries is his Breakfast of Champions. I mean, that's pretty cool, but brownies and breakfast burritos with hot sauce, you can't beat hot sauce and breakfast burritos. You just can't. You gotta spice it up, Spice it up. Yeah, President Hanson gave me a call, wishing me a happy birthday and all. We had district council and talked about how to be, is what they call, challenging and testifying missionary. And the Stuttgart elders were staying here in Pine Bluff because we had dinner at a member's house with people that the sisters are working with, who are, I forget where they're from, China, somewhere in China, and they speak Mandarin. So there's a little language barrier, but it's pretty cool. I'll tell you later on. But the Elder Leon Rich helped us out with finding around the area, and we talked to a good couple people, and then we were able to drive up. It was like west, okay, northwest from where we were, kind of closer to this town called Sheridan. It's kind of outskirts of the area. Not as far though, but it's about like a 20-minute drive, I think. Something like that. I don't know. But we had it was actually Chinese New Year. And we had Chinese food. We had Chinese food and like all this other stuff. It was pretty good. I actually had crab. It was like a weird meat noodle. I guess you can call it that. I don't know.
It's like crab sausage.
Crab sausage, something like that, yeah. But it wasn't as hard to get into. Because with the crab you can like slice, and then look at that. You can slice it with this pen and it'd be like sharp. I think. That's just what I felt it like. It was like, but you know, it was pretty good. We were able to take home food, and everyone that was there sang to me on my birthday. And
We still have some in the fridge.
wait, what?
We still have some food in the fridge.
What? Is that yours?
Uh-uh.
Was it all the riches?
I don't know. Someone.
Oh dear. Well, anyways, then they all sang to me. The people from China were like recording it. I think it was all awesome. It was pretty cool. We learned some Chinese that day, some Mandarin. It was like, 谢谢.
谢谢.
谢谢 means thank you. And 你好? Well, yeah, knew that much. 你好. And we actually bowed because apparently that was like a thing that they did. And
Forgot how to say goodnight. In Korean it's 샤샤오.
I thought it was 샤샤요. No, it was
Korean.
I forgot what goodnight was. We were saying it. Huh? Oh gosh. That's not what the word I'm looking for. But
맛있어요.
oh dear. Oh dear. Then yeah, that was basically all of Tuesday after a couple things as well, but
We don't need to talk about this. Those are for after the mission.
Then Wednesday Monday, Tuesday, yeah, Wednesday. We had a pretty good day overall. We had a couple lessons. One of them was kind of hectic, but you know, we knew he felt something. But then we met this guy, and he was really interested in the Book of Mormon. And then all of a sudden, his dog gets loose. He's got 2 dogs. Both of them look very vicious. And we were talking with the son. We were kind of talking with them, helping them out, because the son like was fixing a bed frame or something. We were helping them out a little bit, and we were talking with all of them. And then the dog gets loose on this whatever made-up chain that they had. And then the guy gets in front of the dog and is like, nah, none of that. Yeah, we almost got ravaged by that dog. And we also had a lesson with these people that the other elders taught or found. Kind of talked with them for a little bit, and then we had the Book of Mormon study class. It was a little slow, but we actually had some good appointments, so that was always nice. We then Thursday, it was rainy. This whole week's been rainy, but that day was rainy, so much. We weren't able to get as much done as we wanted. We found a new person as well, which is nice. We met some members. We talked to this guy that the sisters gave us. And really, okay. And then we had a handoff lesson with the sisters. The sisters gave us someone that they felt like they should hand off, and we were able to talk with them talk to this guy for a little bit, and then we had ward correlation. Well, before that, we had dinner with the senior couple, and we got some media order and some stuff from home, and then we had ward correlation, and all of us were there, all 7 of us, which is very rare because usually we have to zoom in Stuttgart elders. Excuse me. But yeah, it was a pretty good day. And then Friday, we had exchanges. Actually, well, not till like later that night. We had weekly planning. We packed for exchanges. I never packed because I was staying here. And we visited members. We went finding, had like no success, sadly, that day. Then we went over to the church to give one of the sisters a blessing because they weren't feeling so hot. They were getting sick. And then we helped some members clean the church building for a little bit, and then we kind of booked it on out to do exchanges. We were supposed to meet in this town called Wabasika. It's a small town. It's kind of like the middle point between Stuttgart and Pine Bluff, or like where the church is or whatever. In the end, we ended up driving all the way up to Stuttgart. It wasn't pretty on the miles, but it just kind of we didn't really see where this place was that we were looking to meet up at, but we ended up finding it like after. Like when we were driving back, and we ate. Well, before that, we all ate at Wendy's, just kind of like for dinner and all. And then we came back with me and Elder Lee. We had a Zoom call with the whole zone, just like to get to know everyone type thing. And then we were at the church, and then the sisters were at the church as well. So we just did one big group Zoom call. We just added ourselves in with everyone else, and then we came back home and whatever and talked for a little bit. And Elder Lee actually has seen my mom quite a bit before, because my mom worked at Chick-fil-A for a time, and Elder Lee was at Chick-fil-A quite a bit, so he's seen her before. And then Saturday during exchanges, it was a little interesting because a lot of our appointments fell through, but we still ended up having some pretty good success in the end. Elder Lee got hit. Elder Lee got a rock thrown at his head. It was a small rock by a kid. I don't even know why. I don't know. Then we went finding on this other part, kind of closer to where the Andersons were, the members, because we were having a lesson up there, and we meet a couple people. Then we're walking back, and this guy that we kind of talked to a little bit, but not as much. He's like, I see you guys seem to be walking around quite a bit. Hold right here. This guy is a little taller, a little more built. He's like, kind of built guy, slick hair, and he's walking pretty fast. We're like, we're like, okay, we're waiting. He walks over. He's like talking about this experience about like. Actually, that was after, but he walks over. He grabs his fishing pole. And then he starts saying, "It's like, this is what I call a dog beater 3000." And we're like, we're thinking to ourselves, where are you going with this? Because he's looking like pretty stern. He's like, here, use this. Because he ended up telling an experience about how like he was riding his bike and this dog comes out in front of him and runs over this dog on his bike. So basically tipped his bike because of it. And he's like, use this so whenever you come across any stray dogs that try to attack, you can use that to back the dog up. And we thought it was really cool. We got a nice photo with the dog beater 3000. He just wanted us to be safe, and we really like that a lot. We're like, you're pretty cool. And then we went over to Anderson's and met this guy. I kind of met him the Saturday before when we were talking with some of the other kids, but it was only that guy now, and we were talking with him for a little bit because he wanted to learn a lot more because he had a lot of questions, and we had a really good lesson with him, and he's pretty solid. It's really cool. He was a really cool guy. Sadly, he said he was getting moved around for work now because he's starting to get a job with work with electrical power lines around wherever he gets moved to. So he will get travel around a lot for work. So we're gonna make sure we're gonna keep in contact, but it's all that stuff. And then after we came back to the apartment and got a ride at the state conference because state conference was this week, that weekend. And then we had state conference. That was really good. And then we stayed the night at the Pinnacle Mountain Elders apartment, which is like not far from Little Rock. And that's also the apartment where the APs stayed in, but the APs were in Memphis. So we slept in the AP's bed. So it was interesting. Yeah. And then state conference Sunday was really good. They talked a lot about temple and family history work and about the changes in the church. None of the people that we invited came to church either, sadly. We got a ride home from a member, and then we did all our studies and all, and then we met, they were like, oh, let's try this member right here, and we talked with him for a while. He was really cool. He just hasn't came to church in a long time, and yeah, he was awesome. He gave us food actually, and some salsa that he made, and then we came back home and I actually made spaghetti. Let's save the chimichangas for later or whatever. So I made spaghetti, and that was nummy because I like spaghetti, yeah. And then we had Collins and just went to bed. Yeah, that's basically all this week. Week 26 of everything going on. Yeah, it's been that this week that week 26 was really kind of like another slope just to start getting everything situated, start getting everything figured out. Sometimes it can be a little stressful with like the areas or whatever and like the miles, but it's been really something. We're definitely a learning experience, and I know that definitely the Spirit's really helped us a lot trying to figure everything out. Yeah, it's really cool. So yeah. That was week 26 for y'all. Now to week 27.